I am Joy Spears. I'm a professional dancer and choreographer and master teacher. I've been dancing for 29 long years, and I was born and raised in Alabama. I grew up in Florence, Alabama, and I've traveled all over. I lived in Los Angeles for 7 years, went to the University of Alabama, and now being 32, I teach at several studios across the nation and work with artists and on award shows. And since before I could walk, my dad started dancing with me to Elvis Presley, and he's no longer here, so I think it's just something that I have to hold on to him, and it's always been like my refuge from anything. And it's, despite like all the successes I've had, the best part is getting to connect to students, because I remember myself at that age, my first performance in a green tutu, like I showed up to the door like of my parents' room and I was like, I'm ready to perform, and it's 7 a.m. They're like, you literally have 12 hours before you have to be on stage. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go downstairs and practice. If you wanna watch me, you need to be down there. And so I just think dance has been embedded in me since I was born as a child, and it's my favorite thing, and getting to connect to other kids and people is the greatest gift of it all.
Performing a hip-hop routine to hit the floor, here's Joy and Dimitri.
I was flying to Chicago to audition for So You Think You Can Dance, and did not expect to actually make the show. Made it through Chicago, went to Vegas for like Vegas week, and then made it to top 40. Like every day I was like, I just don't want to get cut the first day. And I'll never forget, I like walked on stage and Nigel's like, you're still young, you have so much to learn. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk off stage before they tell me I didn't make it. And he's like, which I think you will, because you're in our top 20. And I was like, what? Like, I still will never forget my face, like wispies, high pony, green tank top, black booty shorts. I was like, I just made So You Think You Can Dance. And I called my mom and I was like, you can't tell anyone. And then I had 15 phone calls after that. And I was like, Mom, don't tell anyone means don't tell anyone, but God bless her soul. The whole experience, I will say reality TV is an experience. But when you go on to it, you know that you are not in control of what happens. And even if it's a talent show, you still don't really have control over that. So when people ask me about my experience, I say it was great, because no matter what the outcome, you always learn something. And I honestly think my personal experience, what I learned from it, helped me be who I am today, 12 years later, which is a long time. I would say the most challenging thing of dancing full-time, first off, is it is not a government job, so you do not have benefits. You are freelance and self-employed. Also, dancing is very dependent on your body. In 2008, I was in college and I got kicked in the knee and I tore my ACL and had to have surgery. And I didn't really know how to like adapt to it, and I went to a doctor on campus and he was like, you're overreacting. And I was like, no, you don't understand, this is like my life. And turned out I went 6 weeks, I had surgery, and I recovered and it was fine. But thank goodness it was when I was in school, because had I been in LA, like I would have just not been able to work. And that taught me a lot. And so the hardest part about dance is you have to keep your body in tune, and you can't help when you have injuries. Things happen. And also, it's one of those things that it's more than your talent. It's who you know, it's your look, it's if you're right for a job. There's so many things. The biggest thing I always tell people is, if you don't eat, breathe, sleep, and love it with all your heart, you should not do it as a profession. And that's fine, because I think growing up doing it, it teaches you a lot about self-discipline. It gives you just a lot for your life. But if you don't just love it with your whole heart, don't do it as a profession, because you won't survive. And I love it. And I've had a lot of success, and my resume speaks for that. But the best part is like the fulfillment I get from my students, hands down. Like, yes, I work with a ton of people that are like big and known, and I love all of them, but my students are like my pride and joy, and that's what like I wake up happy about every day. So it's worth it.